So first of all, my name is Tony. I'm from Metal Exposure, and I'm sitting here with
I don't know. I can't see. Who are you sitting there with? Oh, with me. Oh,
with
Dani
you.
Filth.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, no, it's all right. So yeah, let's start off with the first question. Of course, that's why you do an interview. So your 14th album is coming up.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
S- the Screaming of the Valkyries is out on the 21st of March. And what can you tell us about the album?
um. Where do you want me to start? It's very hard to describe how the album is because it's all about. I mean, I'm very loath to talk about the album because people should define their own opinion about it.
Hmm.
And when people say, "Well, what does it sound like?" So, well, and then just spend half an hour explaining all the twists and turns, and I can't do it justice. So, I just leave that alone. Um, it was recorded over the course of a year because we were
Hmm.
um, perpetually out on the road. So we'd record the
Yeah.
drums and then go out on tour, do the guitars, go back out on tour. Um, and subsequently, the album was delivered to the record company back in July. Um, the first single came out in preparation for Halloween because
Yeah.
it was subject matter of the song was all about Samhain and All Hallows Eve, and just wanted it to hit for that. It seems silly if you missed the actual celebration it was
Yeah.
singing about. Um, the last video, well, sorry, the second single came out 2 weeks ago, but the
Hmm.
video for that, To Live Deliciously, comes out tomorrow, and that's
Yeah.
because some of the action stuff in the video was being filmed in LA at the time of the fires. So
Okay.
um, there was the people that were producing it couldn't go back to the studio for a while. And then they had to have it fumigated and whatever. So basically, long story short, that's coming out tomorrow. And there'll be a third video for White Hellebore that will come out with the album's release on the 21st of March. But other than that, the Screaming of the Valkyries is the newest album by Cradle of Filth, like you said, 14th studio album.
Mhm.
9 songs with the modus operandi of just making, whether it be blast beats or, on the multitude of different ingredients we used to create this album, the modus operandi had to be that we were going to write a catchy album, a memorable
Mhm.
album with no intros, outros, or like halftime Super Bowl
Yeah.
advert or anything like that. No special edition, no you know
Just straightforward.
demo tracks for Timbuktu or anything like that. Just it delivered what it said on the tin.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. And like you already said about the first single, Malignant Perfection, that came out before Hallows Eve, and because it's also like the theme of the song and the video, it yeah,
Yeah, I
it
mean, it
actually fit
makes
perfectly.
sense to get the record company to release it a few weeks early in order
Yeah,
to you know clinch that date.
yeah. And you could actually perform it live at the tour that was after Hallows Eve as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I was there, and I have to say it sounds awesome live as well.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So you also said about the fires that delayed like the video for the third single.
Second single.
Second single, I'm sorry, for To Live Deliciously.
Yeah.
Was
Well, no,
that
it was the second. We'd already filmed the band performance, but the actual linking um, uh, performance in there, the storyline was being filmed
mm,
elsewhere. It was,
yeah,
during the time of the fires in LA, so uh, it couldn't it couldn't be done in time because they had to clear out the studios because it was in the path of the fire. And then they weren't allowed to return for like 10, 12 days. Then they had to have it
mm,
fumigated. And so they only got around to being legally or physically able to film
mhm.
about a week and a half ago.
Okay. So and that will be released tomorrow.
Yes.
And this is your first album with a new label.
Well, we
Not
did the
counting the live one.
studio album, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, this first studio album with Napalm. And you did bring back your longtime producer, Scott Atkins.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does it feel to keep working with the same producer? 'Cause you've
Well,
been working
cool.
with him for a long time.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not like we're in there every week. It's like, I mean, you know, I haven't seen him since last July for a start. Um,
Mhm.
and our next album, we may go in dependent on other plans that we have, which I can't really talk about at the moment because it's a bit premature. They don't go to come to fruition at the end of the year, then we'll probably start our new album with him at the end of this year. And even though that would still make it a year and a half, but it had been four, well, three. Um, no, 4 years. So anyway, the point of it is, we feel comfortable with Scott. He's like a seventh member of the band. He's there from the inception of the songs, from their first origins, and he helps steer the ship even into the studio. Whilst we're in the studio, he doesn't uh, he doesn't sit on ceremony. He's definitely one to say this isn't working, or don't do that, or this is utter shit. Kill
Okay.
yourself. He's not one to, you know, um, satiate the band with just bullshit. He's very direct. We love him for it. It's very close to where I lived during the pandemic. Me and
Mhm.
him, the only people allowed to work, and fortuitously, we'd already recorded the drums, and Martin had come across from the
Mhm.
Czech Republic, and then the lockdown happened, the first major lockdown here in the UK, and therefore it was just me and Scott for a while. And yeah, it was cool. We could only work a few hours a day, but there was no, we didn't have any, we didn't have any deadlines because nobody
Yeah.
knew when anybody was going to get back to work. So that's just solidified our kind of existence together, even though he has worked with us for a long time. And it just works. And each album, we just tackle it from a different angle. We use different plugins, try different equipment, different guitar amps, different techniques. You know, things have moved along another 2, 3 years, whatever. So we try different, we try different things to make sure the album
Mm.
is as unique as possible.
Okay. So you say you use different things. So what makes this album so different?
Well, it's got different songs on it for a start. That
That
already helps
is
the album.
that
Um,
helps.
well, the production is just a lot crisper. It's very, very, very clear, and that you play a war of attrition with sound because, yeah, sure, you can work with a 100-piece orchestra, but are you going to hear it all with bass, two guitars, and
Hmm.
drum with taking up like 40 channels because they're the size of a house? Um, so yeah, it's a case of sometimes um, a bit smaller is bigger, a little is more. It's about balance. And we definitely worked very hard to get a very good sound of this. Our modus operandi for this album in particular was to write a catchy record. Even if it's, whatever ingredients go into it, whether some bits veer on the death metal or other bits kind of psychedelic, or you've got a lot of new wave of
Hmm.
British heavy metal, whatever. The whole idea was, even if there's blast beats, it's got to be a catchy record. It's got to be memorable songs. There shouldn't be a filler. If you've got a filler on the record, what the fuck is it doing there, to be honest? And that's why we
Yeah.
dispense with the idea of doing a special edition, because they're released at the same time and everybody that goes for the special edition anyway,
Yeah.
because it's only like a couple of euros more, and you get extensive and extended artwork and, liner
Yeah.
notes, better presentation, and more songs. And on the last record, it was like 16 minutes longer
Wow.
and two original songs,
Yeah.
and people were complaining it was too long. So, well, no, we just, you get what we deliver. No
Yeah.
intro, no outro, no,
Just no
um,
nonsense.
no nonsense.
Oh, that actually sounds really cool. Um, and you also you have the album coming out, and you also have like upcoming tours in the US and again another summer tour in Europe. Can you tell us about that?
With the first tour starts mid-April. Originally, we were on the Sick New World in Las Vegas, but
Yeah, that got
that cancelled for some
cancelled.
weird reason. Yeah, which is a shame because first time we did that, the first year was amazing. So anyway, we start the 17th of April in Burbank, I think it is, California. I might be wrong. I might be wrong where it starts. But anyway, the point of it is,
I'll put the poster at the end.
and it's the Chaos and Carnage tour where we're co-headlining with Diane Fetus. There's Flesh God Apocalypse, Nay Obliviscaris, Corpse Pile, um, and a couple of other bands on the bill. And it's like a touring
Touring
festival.
festival, yeah.
Uh, yeah, so that happens for like 6 weeks. We do a couple of shows after that, and then the summer, summoned in summer, um, shows that sort of help glue together the summer festivals. Um, we're taking Nervosa out in support. There's a couple of days where we have a third support, I believe. Naraka, I think they are from France. But yes, they're doing very well. It's going to be great.
Mm.
Then we go to South America in the autumn, and then there's something that we have planned for the end of the year, which may come to fruition, may not. Um, so I can't really talk about it because I don't want to jinx it. If it
No,
does happen, it's going to be huge and great. If it doesn't happen, it will happen next year and hopefully be the same.
yeah, never jinx something like that.
No.
But it does sound like you come back from writing the album, you promote the album, and then it's back to touring all year until
Well, we've actually
it's
had
actually.
to be fair, we've had a few months off. We came back from touring uh like the beginning of the second week in December. Um and yeah, time off until mid-April. But it's not time off really, because I've been doing interviews for the last 3 weeks and I'll continue to do so for the next month. Although I am taking my partner to Florence at the weekend as part of our Valentine's celebration.
Oh, that's nice.
Um, and then again, I'm accompanying her to. She's a tattooist, so we're going to a big tattoo convention just before that tour. Um, but other than that, time off isn't really time off because there's a lot of behind the scenes work to do with a new album, at least.
Yeah, and that follows up my second question. Because of the lot of touring, there's not a lot of family life. Instead of like two band members who found each other and who actually got married earlier to this year.
Yeah, Ashok and Zoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I again, me and my partner flew over to Arizona. The rest of the band were there. There were other people from other bands. Um, it was amazing. It was a great week. I mean, we had an Airbnb in Tucson. We went out shooting. We went out to went to the OK Corral
Mm.
in Tombstone. We went to like this. We did some really cool shit. We went to like a zoo, a desert zoo, celebration of desert life. Um, yeah, we had a great time. It was a great wedding. Thoroughly enjoyed it. What a great way to start the new year, full of positivity. Um, yeah, I mean, that was like we got back a month ago now. Wow, seems like it was just yesterday. Um, so yeah. Things are obviously going well in the Cradle camp. You know, things are going. If people get married.
Yeah, that's that's something new, of course. Um, and I know you get asked this a lot, but I wouldn't be a journalist if I didn't ask it. Collaboration with different artists. There's one collaboration that's been hanging over your head for a while now. Um, is there any news about that, or the one with Ed Sheeran, I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's already recorded,
Hmm.
done. It's brilliant. It's exactly what people expect of it. Sounds like Ed Sheeran. It sounds like us.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't want to bring it out around this record. And also, there were a few restrictions that Ed management put on us because he's got
Okay.
some plans.
Hmm.
And obviously, I don't even want to go there
Okay.
because, yeah, I just can't. So it is going to come out. There's no reason to rush it. Nobody else has done anything like this before. Not the marriage of two extremes like this.
Mhm.
Um, and it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. People could really dig it. But again, it'll come out when it's ready, you know?
Yeah, uh, that's a perfect answer, actually. Um, so what artist would you love to have another collaboration with?
I don't know. Lana Del Rey would be good. And if this thing, I like marriages that are a bit um, like a marriage of opposites. I like the contradiction. I mean, I've done Bring Me the Horizon, I've done 69 Eyes, I've done Motionless in White, Twisted, Ed Sheeran. It's I like the juxtaposition. Um, and I think she'd be really good to do something rather special with and different. From a metal perspective, I'd like to work with King Diamond again because we did a Devil Woman with him ages ago, but I'd like to do a proper Cradle track with him being involved, or Rob Halford, which is entirely plausible, um, or Glenn Danzig, or any number of unimaginably talented guitarists. Except that we've got two of those
Mm.
ourselves, so probably not quite as appealing. But yeah, off the top of my head, those people.
And just sneak in a guitarist every one in a few tracks. That should be fine, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what other projects do you have outside of the music?
Um, well, we have a collaboration with the big fashion house Vetements coming out, which is like a capsule, time capsule. There's a very successful fashion show in Paris last year where they aired some of the collaboration we did, and it was successful enough for them to do another one,
Okay.
which is amazing because no one's ever done that before either. Not for that size fashion house
Hmm.
with this extreme kind of music. And yeah, again, I love this shit. I love doing weird and wonderful stuff. There's also a collaboration with Blackcraft clothing coming out soon, which is amazing. I have my own autobiography, which probably won't come out this year, to be honest, because I'll probably rewrite a bit of it. Um, and I had a poetry book which has been in the works for years because I never get around to doing it. And every time there's the window of opportunity, we release an album. So Um, the thing was, a couple of weeks ago, I had a really shit thing happen when I upgraded to the next OS X, or whatever it was, on
Oh.
Mac, and it fucking lost something, and I lost about four really long poems that I was particularly proud of. Just went. I had several people who are coders for big companies, and
Hmm.
they know everything about computers. If they can't get it back, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
They couldn't get it back. It just
Mm.
fucking appeared 1 minute and wasn't
Then
the
the
next.
next.
So weird. But anyway, so that's going to be delayed. Not that I was going to release it this year anyway. And then we've got various other things, like videos. We've already begun writing the new record. Got the touring. I dare say there's more trinket and bauble ideas that we'll have over
Hmm.
the year. And that's regardless of personal life.
Yeah. So you're a busy bee. That's why you never have time for personal
Yeah,
life in between
yeah,
touring
yeah.
and making music.
I'm supposed to be moving in with my long-term partner as well at some point. Um, so, and I'm a bit loath to. I'm going to keep my house for the meantime, so I can use it as
Good.
an office, and I've got a studio
Hmm.
as well in here. But yeah, I'm trying to think when can this be done.
Well, maybe between the summer and the fall tour, somewhere like that.
I'm going to have to find a way to bend time. I'm afraid.
Yeah, if we could only do that, right?
Yeah, right.
Um, so do you have a funny story that happened on a tour?
No, none.
None?
Yeah, like, well, yeah, hundreds and hundreds. Um, I wouldn't call it exactly funny, but looking back at it, it was. I mean, weird things happen to us all the time, like literally
Mm,
all the time. People are like, you do, somebody in China has cursed you. They said to live an interesting life, and you just have a very interesting one. Um, it always works out though, no matter how weird and wonderful, odd, it always works out. But there was, yeah, I'm just off the top of my head because the first thing that jumped in my mind was when we finished. We went out on the road in America in 2003 with Typo Negative supporting us, and this was just prior to going in the studio to start work on Amphetamine. And we'd finished the tour, said goodbye to everybody, and we were at a service station, and the bus was all parked up, and there was snow everywhere. And I had a pair of boots, and I was like, I can't be bothered. I had too much stuff to take back,
mm,
presents, what have you. My boots were dilapidated, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to set them on fire. And we were there, and we were like having a bit of smoke outside the tour bus, me and the keyboardist. And I set them on fire, and I guess because they're so fucking manky for years of, foot
mm,
sweat, leather, and whatever, they were just burnt. They were burning a lot. And my keyboardist was standing there, and I said, Martin, this looks so epic. You all lit up. I'm just going to go and get my phone, and I'll take a picture. So I go back to the bus, come back from the back lounge, come down the stairs, take a picture of him looking all heroic with these flaming boots underneath, and he's on fucking fire. He's literally legs are on fire, standing there, and he hasn't noticed because he's drunk. And I'm like, Martin, you're on fire. So he runs around it's like shit, runs around the parking lot trying to put his leg out in these frozen puddles. And eventually he throws himself into like where they've shoveled loads of smoke. It's really hard, but it worked. He put his leg out.
yeah.
And he had a big hole in his trousers, in his leather pants, and he had a small burn where it burned through the leather onto his skin.
Mm,
Now, he didn't think anything of it, but overnight on the way to the airport, he started getting bit of a fever, and it got worse on the plane, like really bad. So that when he landed, bearing in mind this was like a few days before Christmas, he
mm,
bared it. He started getting a bit of a rash. He bared it for maybe a couple of days, and then had to go. He had to be rushed to hospital because he was in
mm.
agony. And it turned out he'd had a really bad infection, and they said they literally said at the hospital, if you'd left this even another day, we would have had to amputate your leg because it's got sepsis.
Oh, damn.
And he went in on Christmas Eve, and he didn't come out till the day after New Year's Day.
Oh, damn.
He spent the entire Christmas in hospital because of his leg.
Just because you
Um,
wanted to set your boots on
well, I
fire.
don't, it's not for me. I didn't get him on fire. You know, I'm not to blame here. I was
Oh,
going to end up with a very heroic picture of which I would have lent him it. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was funny. I mean, we look back on it and it's funny.
it's funny now.
Funny now, right?
All right. Um, so I just have a few more questions. What is one place you still want to play?
Well, we've done most places. China won't let us in, so that would be nice. We haven't played South Africa, and we haven't played. Well, I mean, there's lots of places we haven't played, but there's a lot of places, you know, that we couldn't play. I'm sure Nepal isn't really. Well, no, that's not true. There is a festival there. Um, the other one is Iceland. I've been to Iceland. I've been to my friend Bam Margera's wedding there, but we never played a show, and it looks like a very, very fun place. And Hawaii.
Right.
Yeah,
From
there's a good
from
gig in
I
Hawaii.
Iceland to Hawaii, the contrast is a little bit, but that sounds pretty cool. And do you have anything else to tell your fans or everyone who's listening or watching?
No, other than check, regularly check. Um, uh, regularly check our Instagram or Facebook pages for any information about or cradlefilth.com. A lot of exciting stuff coming out. I think I revealed some of it, but it's constantly changing. And there'll be definitely other live dates being added up there. And obviously the new merch for new album and various, packages for new album, different color vinyl, etc., etc. But yeah, just to our fans, I really, really hope, I know you will enjoy the Screaming of the Valkyries, our new album coming out on March the 21st, and check out the videos that will precede that, and hopefully see people out on the road this summer. The tickets, well, I don't know if there's any in the locality of of your audience, but the ones for the summer are actually selling really, really well. I think they're all mostly at 50% in less than 3 weeks. Um, so yeah, see you out on the road.
All right. Thank you so much for this interview, Danny.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.